Yep, 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 yep. It's the daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talking about the data. It happened. Okay, what's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Here it is, Hump Day Wednesday. Got to get over the hump. You got to get over the hump. You got to get over the hump. You got to get over the hump. When the syndrome is around, don't let your guard down. All right, so middle of the week, and we just about done with it. It'll be midnight and about a half an hour or so, and whatever. But tonight we're going to talk about dates and times that you remember, times and dates and times that you remember. Specifically, the date that F ish happened, that the date that F ish happened. You know, a lot of people aren't good with dates. You know, after a few weeks, a few months, a few years, people forget the exact date that things happen. And it doesn't mean that much to everybody. Somebody like me is pretty good with dates. I mean, really good, compared to most people that I know. Y'all know I do the birthday shout outs, and I have a way of remembering people's birthdays, even though on the Facebook thing, they give you the notification. But I'm making my point to remember people's birthdays. So that's something that's just something that I've practiced over the years since I was a kid. But I have no problems remembering dates. Now I don't remember every single date, but when something significant happens in my life, I tend to remember the date, and not by writing it down or anything like that. But for some reason, it sticks up in my mind. But I always remember the day that a life changing event happened, or a date when something has changed my mind, probably from first of all, probably for good. Like, you know how when something has changed the way that you have to think about something for the rest of your life, or at least for the time being going forward. I'll remember the date of something like that. For example, I remember March 22nd. It's actually 23rd. March 23rd. On March 23rd, on March 23rd, and it was, the the 23rd going into the 24th. But on March 23rd, that was a day that I got robbed. And it left me with a broken jaw and all that kind of stuff. So I never forgot that date. Now I don't honor the date, and as a matter of fact, the date normally passes without me acknowledging it, or even thinking about it. But then when we get past it, I'm thinking like, oh, yo, the um such and such was the 20th anniversary of having a broken jaw. Like, a broken jaw, like who does that, you know what I'm saying? So, and no, nobody punched me and broke my jaw. They hit me with a bat or a 2x4, something like that. And it wasn't just one person. It was actually I got jumped. But anyway, so that was a life-changing event, because that changed a lot of how I viewed a lot of things in my life. It changed the way that I view friendship, brotherhood, um, violence in the streets, unity, protection, a lot of things. It changed a lot of things. It totally changed the way that I move when I'm out there in the world. It totally changed that. Now, it didn't make me nervous or scared or anything like that. But it let me know that in an instant, just like you watch on the news, um, people getting deleted, people getting hurt, people, tragic things happening. It could be you. It could be you. One day might be your day. You know, planned out by somebody else, or just, you could just get into a little scuffle, an argument, a tiff, or something like that with somebody, and it could end tragically. So anyway, so I never forgot that date. Now, you may have dates on your calendar, on your personal calendar, that you remember. And once again, I already said that a lot of people remember the dates that their loved ones or people that they care about passed on. And I don't want to say that that's easy, because it's hard on your emotions, but it's an easy date to remember for some people, and way too easy for some other people to remember, because they relived that thing and sort of relived that tragedy and that sorrow and that pain year after year after year. I always encourage people not to do that. It's not a good look. So the same way that I can get past a tragic event like getting my jaw broken. That was 20 years ago. No, I'm wrong. I'm thinking about another thing that happened 20 years ago. I'll put y'all on with that in a minute. Because it's really kind of ironic for me personally anyway. But it actually happened in 2001. 2001, so it was actually 22 years ago. In a few months of change. Anyway, so what events are easy for you to remember? What dates of events, life-changing events, are easy for you to remember? Emily says, I'm definitely not good with dates. And I'm surprised at that and not surprised at the same time. I'm pretty much the only person that I know that's really good with dates, But don't get it twisted. Like I said, I don't remember every date. And it's easier for me to remember the date of something that happened a long time ago than it might be for me to remember like 3 weeks ago. Like, remember what date Monday was on when such and such, like, if it doesn't have a significant um what's the word I'm looking for? A significant meaning in my life, I'm not going to remember the date, more than likely. I normally remember the dates that had an impact on me in some kind of way personally. So those dates are easier for me to remember. I was going to tell y'all about, remember the other day when I was telling y'all that I lost my young boy. And I'm not over that. You know how you have to come to grips with certain things, you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about him before I did this show. And I realized, like, I guess in a lot of ways, I'm still in mourning, because it's so shocking for me. And I don't think that I'll ever forget the date that I got. Well, no, it's not the date that I got the notice about him, but the date that it actually happened for him, because it was the day he pretty much died on his birthday. His birthday is November 29th, and he was dead on the 30th. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Like, it's crazy. So I know, the reason that I brought it up, though, was because exactly 20 years ago, I lost my man, but I want to say that I lost him on New Year's, but it wasn't New Year's. But I lost him on the 3rd. And I remember that it was the 3rd for a specific reason. The last time I seen him was New Year's Eve. So 3 days after that, like, he didn't show up for work, and yeah. So yeah, it'll always be etched in my mind. I'll never forget it. But yeah, 2003, 2023, 2 years, 20 years apart, but both people had they had similar things in common. Like my man was 38 and my young boy was 37. Both Sagittarius. Like, yeah, maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there's nothing there. But I won't forget those dates. So the reason that I named this show the date that F shit happened was because those are the easier days for you to remember. When somebody has turned their back on you, or somebody has betrayed you, or somebody has fronted on you, or somebody has forced you to reevaluate, recalibrate the way that you look at life, love, friendship, partnership, the world, yourself. You remember those days. You know, like if you grew up saying like, yo, man, me and my boys for forever, we gonna always be crew. We gonna always be together. We gonna always be down. And something happens on one day that lets you know that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be that way. Y'all not gonna be boys forever. Y'all not gonna be cool forever. Y'all not gonna be fam forever. As a matter of fact, all of that stops today. You know, for some people, it might be their court date. It might be the date that they got sentenced. It might be the date that they got released. Certain dates that have a significant impact on your life are easier to remember. Way easier to remember than just some random days, random dates, or whatever, when whatever happened to whatever, however, whatever. Emily says, I'll remember things happening, but not the actual date. I understand. I don't know. So are you saying that you don't connect any date? Like you don't remember any dates of certain things that have happened? Like, okay, on Friday will be my 11th anniversary. 11th anniversary of not drinking anymore. So on December 8th, 2012, that was when I took my last drink of alcohol. I'll never forget that. It means too much. It means too much. I wasn't like a raging alcoholic or whatever that drunk all day, every day, or anything like that. But nonetheless, it was in the way. It was in the way. And there were so many things going on at the time that I needed to take care of, that not continuing to drink anymore made nothing but sense. Nothing but sense. Because significantly, it was the day when I decided to get my life together for good. No way around it. December 8th. So that's Friday. So, but there's so many, but I'm good with dates. So I can't discount the fact that I'm built a little bit differently than other people. Maybe I care about some things that other people don't care about. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than anybody, better than anybody, or whatever, but there's just some things that are etched, you know, in my soul, in my spirit, and in my DNA makeup that aren't shared by the other people. My dad wasn't good at dates. He wasn't good at dates, not at all. And I don't know. I don't think my mom ain't good at dates either. I don't know where I got it. I don't know. Maybe I'm adopted. I don't know. Emily says, well, November 21st would have been my 15th wedding anniversary. So I guess it seems I do remember something. Exactly. You know, there's certain things that, especially, you know, things that you have to celebrate or prepare for year after year after year. It's easier to remember those dates. But if you've ever lost a friend, And I don't mean to death or anything like that. If you've ever lost a friend to friendship, or what's the opposite of I was going to ask what's the opposite of friendship, and I guess you would say an enemy, but that's not really what I'm looking for. What's the if you lose a friend to you, just because somebody isn't a friend anymore, it doesn't mean they're not it doesn't mean that they're an enemy. So I'm thinking like, well, what would you consider yourself losing yourself to, like losing a friend to? I lost my friend to, well, maybe you lost him to him or her to treachery, or to drugs, or to whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But it's things like bad things that happen to you, especially from people that you love and trust and really have hitched onto in your life. It might be easier to remember the date when you had to change all of that, because even if things were happening to y'all to break y'all apart and separate y'all gradually, there may have been one big thing that happened. Like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the day. That was the time when I knew that there was no going back. That's when I had to accept that this is over. It's done. We not like that no more. No more. And honestly, March 23rd was like that for me. It let me know, because I've never been the same since then. Like the way that I looked at friendship, the way I looked at partnership, it all changed after that. Like, because there wasn't any turning back. There was no turning back from that. All right. Okay. Emily says, but the only reason I remember that is because the date is also his second wife's birthday. Wow. Wow. Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And she says, I remember March 8th, June 9th, and May 18th. Was that? That's your birthday and your two sons' birthday. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I know for a fact. Okay, she says yes. I'm about to say, because I know what what March 8th is. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, well, you probably remember some other birthdays too. I know a lot of people who don't know their parents' birthday. Like, I'm like, dang, I bet you ain't you. So, are you subliminally telling me you ain't never do nothing for your parents? How you know? How don't you remember your parents' birthday? Like, even if your parents were together, or sometimes even if your parents weren't together, you know how like your dad to tell you, here's a couple of dollars, go get your mom something for a birthday. You know what I'm saying? That, because that's what my parents would always do. You know, like give us some money so we could give the other parents something coming from us. I don't know. For me, that worked pretty well. I think that's a good way. That's a good way to parent. If children are too young to make their own money or have their own money. Emily says, yes, I know my parents' birthday, March 18th and April 8th. Wow. Okay. Well, ain't that something? So your parents were Pisces and an Aries? Pisces, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and Pisces is the last sign. So they were Alpha and Omega. Wow, ain't that something? But yeah, the day when that FS happened, the date when that FS happened, It could have been the day you found out. It could have been the day you found out that you and your spouse were not going to make it. Maybe it's the date that you found out that they were cheating and you knew it for a fact. Like no lies can get you out of this. No, whatever. You might remember that. I remember the day that a young man who his mom was trying to say was my son was born. That was September 9th, 2007. I knew she was lying. That baby wasn't mine, and it wasn't. But I'll never forget that day. The whole day. I remember the whole day. It was interesting. But yeah, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that date. So yeah, life-changing experiences, life-changing impacts that they have on your life. Yeah, you may no, should I say life-changing impacts that they have on your way of thinking, your way of living, your way of moving. You know, the day when that F shit happened, you know. What about 9/11? 9/11. They're not going to let you forget that date, right? Because the date is actually the event. 9/11, 9/11. So we'll never forget that. Like, what day did 9/11 happen on? Man, I can't remember. Yeah, it was in 2001. 9/11. September 11th, 2001. So yeah. Some dates are very easy to remember. Christmas, all your holiday dates. You know, if you work at a job where you have a really expansive holiday schedule, the kind of jobs where you get off all of the city and states, local and federal holidays, all of them, you know what I mean? That's a good look. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to remember those dates. Emily says, the day I moved to Atlanta, October 9th, 2019. Wow, okay. Hmm. So, Emily, you are originally from Georgia, though, right? You're not like from Alabama or Tennessee or anywhere like that, right? South Carolina. Look at that. Huh? She said, look at these dates coming back to me. And yeah, and these aren't even tragic dates. These ain't the dates when that F shit happened. When the F shit happened, you know? Man. And like, once again, it's easier for a lot of people to remember the days when people passed away. But if you really jog your memory, you can remember a lot of other significant dates as well, even if you're not good at dates. The day when you were unable to think the way that you used to think or thought that you would think for the rest of your life, the day when those things change, you'll probably remember those dates. Circle them on your calendar. Like, yeah, these are the dates I'm either going to celebrate or try my hardest to get by. Celebrate or try your hardest to get by. Like, I don't have any use for these dates no more. Okay, yeah, you are from Georgia. You are from Georgia. Or is it Georgia? Georgia. 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 Jawja. Georgia. But yeah, the date when that F-ish happened, you know, when somebody betrays you, when somebody, it could have been a day when somebody tried to do something to you unsuccessfully. It still may have had an impact on you. Has that ever happened to you? Somebody tried to do something to you, and you may have gotten word of it, wind of it, notice of it, whatever, and you were able to stop it. But just the mere fact that they tried it, the mere fact that they set it up, the mere fact that they were going for theirs against you, it may have had a significant impact on you. And you might remember those days. Like, this is the date that they were going to try to do me in. This is the date when they were going to try to blah, 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 blah. They were going to try to hurt me. They was going to try to hurt me. But yeah, Emily, I think it's significant when you say that, September 9th, 2019 was the day you moved to Georgia. That's a life-changing event. See, I've never moved to another city. I've never lived any place except for Philly. I mean, really lived, being away at college and all that kind of stuff. I don't count that. I've never lived anywhere except for Philly. So you can best believe if I've ever moved out of the city, out of the state, whatever, I'm going to remember that. Ironically, I don't remember the days when I've gone out of the country. Like the first time I've ever been out of the United States was in 1992. We went to Europe, and I don't remember those dates at all. I got nothing. And I think that's interesting. And I also don't remember the day I came back. And they definitely had an impact on my life. But you know what? They didn't have a negative impact in my life. And maybe that's why I don't remember as well. They didn't make me stop the way I think about anything. Not those dates anyway. Maybe what I learned when I went there, but not those dates alone. Emily says, it was because the town I was raised in is small with 1 or 2 stores. Wow. So yes, moving to Atlanta was big. Wow. Yeah, that's real big life-changing stuff right there. Wow. Yeah. I couldn't even imagine growing up in a small town where everybody pretty much knows each other. Like your business is everybody's business, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I wonder how I would be in a situation like that. Like, and that's not to say that you didn't have any privacy or anything going on outside of the public eye, but if there were only 2 stores, there's no way you could steal like a pack of gum and get caught and and everybody not know about it. How about that? So yeah, the date that F-ish happened, yeah, might be a little easier to remember a day when somebody did you wrong, when somebody did you in, when somebody set you up. I do remember when I moved from my apartment to here. The day I moved into this house is February 26th, year 2000. I'll never forget it. Life-changing, baby. Something else. Yep. The day I moved into my apartment from my parents' house, July 19th, 1989. I'll never forget it. Never, ever, 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 ever. I'll never forget it. Life-changing stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. I swear, how time flies. We already up to 29 minutes and some change. All right. Let's go ahead and do these birthday shout-outs. We have some birthday shout-outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 6th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Myrna Rodriguez turning 58 years old today, and also Ingrid Peguero turning 42 years old today, and Ashley Coronado turning 32 years old today, and Pratty Lisha Ariste turning 33 years old today, and Nadine McKenzie turning 48 years old today, Lynette Fontroy, go-getter Lynette, turning 52 years old today, and my man Leonard Bryant turning 50 years old today, and my girl go-getter the family meeting, Annette Long, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Linda Michelle White turning 84 years old today. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 6th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, one of the reasons that I brought this up is because a year ago on this date, on December 6th, 2022, that was the day that I really thought I was going to leave my job, because something so fuckish, so bullshit, it made me so pissed off that I was like, all right, I'm done here. I wash my hands. I wash my hands of the situation. I wash my hands. I wash my hands up the situation. But although I won't forget that date, I really won't. But I realize that sometimes you have to stick in there. Sometimes God in the universe places you in a place until he's ready for you to go, or it's ready for you to go. And although you may make moves to try to exit that situation, there will often be circumstances and things that keep you there until it's really your time to go. It's just something to think about. But I won't forget the date. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another daily go-getterism show. So y'all have a great night. Don't make no exceptions for it. And I'm a holler. I'm a holler. I said a peace, y'all. Have a good one. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet.